Our next presenter is from Hyperloop 1, so we know already what it is. Mr. Stanislav Popov, please.
Hello everyone. I'm here to speak about Hyperloop. I've been collaborating with Hyperloop 1 for approximately 1.5 years, and we think that Hyperloop is a perfect solution for Helsinki Tunnel because of many points. So let's go ahead. So what is Hyperloop? For those who haven't heard about it, Hyperloop basically is a steel tube. The air is removed from the tube so that you get a low pressure environment, which allows you to eliminate air drag. The vehicle itself is a small pod which operates on demand. The pod would contain from 25 to 100 passengers, depending on demand. The pod is moved, accelerated and decelerated by linear motors, and it levitates in the tube using passive magnetic levitation, which means that it doesn't consume energy at all, which makes Hyperloop solution very energy efficient. And what is also important, not speaking about speed, is that Hyperloop solution is very flexible. Every journey you make is from A to B. You don't have to have stops in between. So that in our minds, this is perfect to connect not only city centers but many other places in between. The next important thing is that Hyperloop technology is there. It has been tested in Nevada desert for around 1 year ago first, and the speed has been achieved of around 240 kilometers per hour, I guess, on the last test. I've been there, I've seen everything, and it was just very impressive. Hyperloop 1 is supported by both Estonian and Finnish governments. Estonian Prime Minister signed a letter of intent last year with Hyperloop 1, and the Finnish progress, mainly achieved by Finnish company FS Links, is even more impressive. At the moment, they are negotiating with Finnish ministries to conduct a full-scale feasibility study and to build a R&D center and a test track in the city of Salo. What makes Hyperloop really useful for Helsinki is that we are able to connect city centers because of such a high level of flexibility. And talking about Hyperloop in our region, we shouldn't speak only about Tallinn and Helsinki, but also about Stockholm, which is like only 30 minutes away from Helsinki when we use Hyperloop. So basically, we're not getting double city, we're not getting triple city, but we're getting a one city made of three. Very important is that Hyperloop doesn't need a huge tunnel like a conventional HSR, for example. So on boring alone, we can save more than 5 billion euros, which is quite significant. The excavated volume, rock volume, is smaller. It is easier to handle. There is no problem of building huge islands in the Gulf. So overall, we can save up to 67% according to our estimations on the tunnel building procedures. Hyperloop has a very high BCR, which means that 6 minutes from A to B really allows us to eliminate the distance. We just don't have to think about it anymore. Hyperloop will be on demand. Capsules can depart in each direction as frequently as needed. According to different estimations, every 1.5 minutes, maybe even we can put even more capsules to move. As I mentioned before, you can board and disembark anywhere. All journeys will be non-stop. It has been said previously that every billion invested into infrastructure brings another 10 billion of investments into property. Keeping in mind that we can significantly reduce the price of Hyperloop solution, we can double this amount of additional investments. And I think what is really important to keep in mind is that by 2030s, when Hyperloop will be up and running, we should consider that at the same time the tunnel will be built, and we should keep the door open for Hyperloop solution. Hyperloop is sustainable in terms of money saved and money invested. We can use this saved money to build even more stations than just 1 or 2 in each city. We can connect city centers, airports, commuting centers. We can also connect important cargo hubs, etc., etc. Hyperloop is therefore able to provide a really seamless connection to our means of transport, as we can build more stations which are small and can be located just in the place they are needed. Talking about airports, we can effectively merge airports of Tallinn and Helsinki into one super airport, which will be more sustainable in terms of flexibility, capacity, variety of destination, and certainly keeping in mind weather conditions. Furthermore, using 2 airports as a one, we can reduce investments into new runways. We basically don't have to build the next runway in Helsinki airport, having one in Tallinn, which is underserved at the moment. So what is it all about? Hyperloop is about creating a mega region as a result, which will be formed of 3 cities, Stockholm, Helsinki and Tallinn. We can improve business, we can improve overall regional vitality, we can account on significant job growth and productivity, and certainly improved access to talents and customers. We can make our region be more interesting to investments and to people who would search for possibilities of moving somewhere to a nice place, which certainly will be this mega region with Hyperloop as a connecting force. So Just to conclude, I would like to thank you and say that we at Hyperloop One are looking for further steps of collaboration on with Finance Link and governments of Estonia, Finland and Sweden, and certainly also Norway because as I know, at this same moment, as we are here, FS Links are talking to Norwegian Parliament about the same issues. We're really talking to many countries to create a really viable mega region. So, thank you.
Thank you.